Good morning, and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Dr. Gene Dorio.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, there's nothing better than a glass of red wine, is there?
I agree.
And our first guest this morning is Robert Reyes of Reyes Winery. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me here
Yes,
today.
it's a delight.
We
I
toast
cannot
you.
wait to see the new building across the street.
Oh, we're excited and anticipating opening soon, but I don't have quite the date yet. That is the question everybody asks. So let me preliminarily say we may be looking at a month and a half or two. So that
Okay.
we're that close, but it's very hard to really nail it down.
Yes, that's
As you
very
know,
true. And then you've got all kinds of little things that need to be done.
A lot of things are happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Furniture, water and sewer connections.
Oh, yeah.
All these things that add to the delays, and that's just the way it is these days.
That's very true, but at least you're moving along.
We are moving along every day.
That's the neat part about it.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, how long have you
So-
been in this business?
In the wine business,
Yes.
really, since 2011 is when we bottled our first wines. In fact, this wine that I brought here is 2010, so that would have been.
I'm going to enjoy a glass of that tonight with
There
my
you go.
dinner. Oh,
There you
my
go.
goodness.
Yes.
Gene, you're missing out.
But I toast to both of you.
Do what?
I toast to both of you.
But you don't have
I-
any red wine to do it with.
I have my Gatorade. Sorry, and it's
You have your
tropical mango.
Gatorade, huh? That Gatorade is bad for you. Don't you know that?
And probably so.
It's full of
But,
sugar.
remember, my mom has been drinking Gatorade since Gatorade came out, and she's only 99.
Okay,
So
well,
she's done very well. But Robert, you're not going to have a vineyard across the street from our studio.
Right.
You grow the wine, but your store across the street will be outlet and tasting and such.
Yes, that is correct. There will be a restaurant on the bottom floor.
Restaurant.
The,
Cool.
The middle floor is offices, and most of those offices are already rented out. And then the top floor is going to be the tasting room with,
Oh.
well, the tasting room itself has an inside capacity for 20, but the entire open area, including the tasting room, is 101,
oh, wow.
right? So we'll have some parties there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
That sounds excited. And up on the rooftop,
That's right.
that's the neat thing about it. Because, I mean, that's a tall building. It's what,
3 stories.
three
yeah.
stories?
Yes.
And it's above. I mean, you'll be able to see all over the place.
Pretty much, yes. We have a good view up there,
Oh,
and
yes.
the one thing we have 2 elevators in the building. So the front elevator for the general public, we decided to put glass around the tower so that we have more visibility. People
Oh, wow.
sitting up there can actually see through the elevator tower.
Oh,
Wow.
And
that's
as
nice.
much as
That'd be-
possible,
Yeah.
because there's equipment and rails and things inside, but it gives you that much more of an open feeling up there.
Well, you can see around.
That is
what You're
correct.
saying,
That is
having
correct.
The,
and
the
people
glassed-in
exactly, and then
elevator.
people on either side of that elevator tower can look through it and see other people rather than having this monolith in front of you.
Right.
So that was something
That was good thinking on your part.
Thank you. Thank you.
Although I'm sure
But
you
Barbara,
thought
can you
about that
picture-
long time ago.
Yes. Yes.
Can
that
you
is correct.
picture how Main Street will look at Christmas time from up there?
Oh yes.
It'll be beautiful, Gene. Absolutely
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we'll be serving food up there as well, because the second elevator
Oh.
goes directly to the kitchen with a pass-through window, and so order through the
wonderful.
POS, and when it's ready, they come down and get it through that elevator and bring it up. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's a terrific. That's wonderful. You must be so excited,
I am. We're very excited.
especially moving from Agua Dulce into downtown Newhall.
Correct. And we will keep the tasting room in Agua Dulce at the vineyard also. So this is a second location for us.
Well, going out to the vineyard, that's a nice place to go. It really
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Especially being on the outside and looking at all of those grapes, because I've been there.
Okay.
You know,
Yes.
when Beth was working for
That's
you,
right, yes.
we held some functions there, and
Correct.
it was very nice. It was a very pleasant visit there, but it's going to be so much nicer when you're closer,
Of course.
because
Of
you'll
course.
have so many more people to visit you and wine taste and
Right.
eat the good meals. Do you have any specific meals that you will be serving, or is it going to be a combination of all kinds?
Yeah, it'll be a combination, and we are working on a menu, and we have a chef on board now,
Oh, wonderful.
and he is developing the menu. As a matter of fact, yesterday at the vineyard in Agua Dulce, we had there were 9 of us, and the chef and his assistant came up, and he cooked for us. That was a party. That was a party.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I bet.
Yes.
And what kind of wine did you serve?
Oh, we served 5 or 6 different wines, and by the end of the day, it was all gone.
So I'm assuming everybody called Uber to
I-
come and
I-
get them?
I had my share, but then I stay there. But yes, some Uber, and yes.
That's
That's right.
wonderful. Well, it's really exciting to have a nice winery in downtown Newhall, and of course we have a couple of others
Yes.
here too.
Yes. And
So when people want to go on a wine tasting party, they have all kinds of wineries to go to.
that is correct, and it's great. And
is.
I always think high tide raises all boats, so it's great to have others that do the same thing.
Yes.
Because we need to be friendly competition.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think we will attract a whole lot of other people who may go elsewhere, but if they can come to Main Street and go wine tasting, what a deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. It really is. That is really a nice thing to be able to do. And to have different wineries with their different brands of wine.
Correct.
I'm a Chardonnay drinker. I love Chardonnay also.
All right.
And I'm a Merlot drinker too. Although I drink more Chardonnay than I do red wine.
Right.
But now, tonight, I'm going to have a glass of red wine.
There you go.
Merlot.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Although it doesn't go with fish, does it?
Well, that's kind of a subjective question
I know.
because
I know.
when I eat fish, I normally drink red wine. So
Yes.
it's what you like, really.
Yes,
There are no set rules, but normally a white wine would go with the white meats and fish and so
Right.
on, where the red wines would go with the heartier red meats and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
well,
I don't discriminate.
No,
I have
I
my
don't
fish
either.
with Merlot 10.
no. I'm looking forward to having a glass of this. Well, I have a glass of wine with my meal at night, and I thoroughly enjoy that glass of wine. And it's
Right.
not a half, it's a full glass of
Full
wine.
glass.
And especially because I'm at home,
Yes.
I don't need to get in the car and go anyplace.
Right.
So that's what's nice about being able to eat a dinner at home and enjoy a glass of wine. It's
Right.
very, very nice.
Yes.
It really is. And in fact, my daughter is coming down to spend the night Thursday night.
Okay.
And I'm going to have her have a glass of Merlot with me.
Good.
So, because we may just order dinner in.
Yes.
Sometimes we go out, but I think we'll just order dinner in or cook it ourselves.
There you go.
Either way. But hey,
how
how's Robin? Does Robin like red wine?
No,
No.
we just drink Gatorade.
Oh. Oh.
But Robert, I wanted to ask you, how difficult is it now with the drought
Yes.
to grow grapes and to be able to continue doing it? I mean, with this drought, there's
Yes.
got to be some jeopardy.
Oh, yes,
here.
absolutely. And in fact, today I was thinking precisely about that. We've had to bring water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this past winter, what I did is I installed 10 tanks at 5,000 gallons each up on the front lot of the vineyard. And so that's been a good reserve, but it's certainly not enough. And so
Right.
in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll probably end up bringing some more water in. And this year, I noticed that the grapes are a lot smaller because we haven't had sufficient water, and because of the drought, as we have more and more drought, of course the soil, the moisture in the soil gets deeper and deeper, so that the roots of the vines are not reaching that humidity in the ground. So we're having to use that much more water this year.
That's very interesting. I didn't realize that the
Yes.
moisture receded.
Yes, it does.
Well, you learn something new every day, don't you?
Right, right.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
And we have 2 wells on the property. One is at 900 feet deep, and the other one is at 600 feet deep. But they're not producing what we would like them to produce, and so we may end up adding more reserve tanks this winter just to have that reserve for next year.
Now, is the size of the grape then, is that connected to the amount of water?
Absolutely, yes,
It is.
yes, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. Robin and I have one grapevine,
All right.
and we had one batch of grapes, and they're all smaller this year.
Okay.
Tasty but smaller.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
we even noticed with the one vine that we had, and somebody must have thrown some seeds there or something, but it grew, and every year it looks like in the wintertime, it looks like it's totally dead, and then it comes back to life.
That's right.
And this year she brought in, it was like a little ceremony. She brought in just a cluster of grapes.
Yes.
But they were all definitely smaller.
Yes.
That's why I was wondering about the water. Not that we not conserving, but we all have to conserve.
Right. We are on wells, and so we get what the wells produce for that year. Or otherwise, we have to bring in water. But speaking of the size of the grapes, there is a benefit to the smaller grapes and thicker skins. The flavors in the wines are more balanced, fruitier.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. The quality of the wine is better as a result of that. And so, in a way, it's kind of a blessing because we produce ultra premium wines, and that's exactly the kind of grapes we need: smaller grapes, thicker skins, and so on. But this year they happen to be even smaller. So we'll see how that goes. But we're anticipating that it's going to be a good crop.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. Well, like I say, you learn something new every day, don't
There
you?
you go, don't we all?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness.
So
Well,
how many bottles do you produce a year? Is that sustaining itself also?
Right. Well, the number of bottles that we are actually producing because of the smaller crop has gone down, but we probably bottle anywhere from 35 to 45,000 bottles a year.
Wow, that's a lot of bottles of wine.
And we are a very small winery, as you know.
Yeah, how many acres are you?
We have 15 acres planted, and as we were talking earlier, I bring in grapes from local producers as well. Yes, and this year we'll be bottling a Pinot Noir, a Grenache. Those we don't produce, but we bring them in from local producers, and we want to make sure we stay local. Yes.
Now, do you get the same quality of grapes from other producers as you have?
Well,
as you grow?
the wines, the grapes that we get from the same appellation are pretty much the same quality. The ones outside, up in say Palmdale, Lancaster, those are perhaps not up to the standard of our own, and so our estate wines, of course, are with our own grapes, and then
Right.
the others we bring in and we bottle those separately under a different label.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Well, do you charge less for those bottles?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a
There's
price
a
difference.
price difference.
Yes.
Wow, that's very
because it
interesting.
cost us so much more to produce precisely
Right.
because of the lack of water
Right.
and the amount that we actually produce. So the cost per ton is significantly more.
Well, it looks like this climate situation is going to continue for a while, at least from
Yeah.
what we're hearing.
It seems it is, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's going to be detrimental for you also, isn't
Well,
it?
and that's why we're trying to prepare for next year, and we
Mhm.
may end up adding more storage tanks for, because in the wintertime, we hardly use any water. So we can store all that water for the time when we do need it, and the wells s- start dwindling in the amount of water they produce every day. But
Well,
I think
now, where do you get your water from?
we have 2 wells on the property.
Yeah, but when you're bringing in this extra water,
Right.
where does that come from?
From the wells.
Oh, it does come
Yes,
from
it
the
comes from the,
from your
so in
wells.
the wintertime, if,
Ah.
we will fill those tanks. And like I said, I'll probably bring in another 10 tanks and have that reserve. And yes, we do fill it in the winter completely. So we will have 150,000 gallons as reserve. And hopefully that'll get us through the year because the wells do continue to produce throughout the year,
Oh, okay.
right? It's just that it's
Okay.
not enough for
Not
this time
enough.
of year.
I see. I see.
Why is it, Robert, that California and our area are producing such great wine compared to other parts of the country and the world?
Yes, and I think specifically in our appellation, that is the case. And I think it has a lot to do, obviously, with what we call the terroir, which includes, not only the soil, but the water and the winds and the dryness and all of that is part of that terroir. And so
Yeah.
I think it's unique to our appellation where we are. It's a very small appellation. An appellation is an a viticultural
Right.
area. And so, yeah, our appellation has that particular quality that we get in our grapes. So that's the answer. So that's why we're able to produce ultra premium wines in our appellation.
How
Is
interesting.
it similar to French appellations, or are we better, actually?
Well, that is to be determined, but we're certainly close to the best wines in the world. So
Yeah.
yes, and competitions will show that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the French paradox.
Yeah.
and it's interesting. More people are drinking wine compared to several years ago.
That is correct.
And I think whiskey, when I was 18 years old, I drank too much whiskey
Oh,
and I got deathly ill.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. And I've never touched
Barbara.
it since.
Good. This is
Fortunately,
revealing.
it was in my own home. I had a
Okay.
party in my home,
Oh,
and my parents were out of town.
okay.
And so, fortunately,
partying,
several,
party girl.
several of my girlfriends took care of me.
Yes.
You know,
Okay.
and I thought, oh my goodness, I can remember drinking bourbon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
I want to hear what
I
the
don't even
grandkids
like
say,
the
Barbara.
smell of it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I do
Aw.
not. That's when I changed completely. Of course, I stopped drinking for a long time after that
Okay.
because I thought I don't ever want to go through that again. I
Right.
mean, I was absolutely miserable.
Right. Right.
Getting drunk is the worst thing in the world you can do.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it does all kinds of things to your system,
that's right.
because
right.
you have too much alcohol,
Right.
and that really devastates
Right.
your system.
All things in moderation.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's why I stick with my one glass of wine
There you go.
per day, and that's in the evening for dinner.
Right. Right. Right.
So, how do we get in touch with you, Robert, if we need to?
Oh, yes. We're at the winery at 10262 Sierra Highway, and the phone number there is 661-268-1865. And we're open on weekends for tastings, and no reservations required at this point, so anybody can just come on in and visit us on weekends for tastings.
And you have signs along the road, don't you?
We don't have signs along the road.
You don't? I
No.
thought you had a sign, especially where you turn
The
in.
front.
Well,
to go?
right.
there.
There is a sign on our property on Sierra
Yes.
Highway, which is only a block away from Agua Dulce Canyon Road.
Right.
Just
Yep,
east
yep.
of Agua. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, and the 661-268-1865.
Right, and we have our website, which is reyeswinery.com, and
Reyeswinery.com.
I invite you to take a look at that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Robert, it's been a pleasure. It really has.
Well, thank you
and
so much.
hopefully
Yep,
you will
yep,
come
thank
back
you.
and visit us and let us know more about how the winery across the street is coming along.
I will keep you posted.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Robert.
Robert. I
Toast to you. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Right.
I'm Barbara Carcon with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Your business sign is essential to getting customers to your location. Feathers can help you get your business noticed. Feathers, now in a new larger space with plenty of parking. They walk you through each phase of your project with special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will provide you a sign that you can be proud of. Your sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Visit Feathers online at feathersigns.com or go to Feathers' brand new bigger location at 26017 Huntington Drive off Rye Canyon or call 298-9442. If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
Aloha, friends! Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
And now for your convenience, a second Honu location at 23502 Lyons Avenue between Peachland and Apple.
Santa Clarita business owners may be entitled to new stimulus money that is outside PPP assistance and SBA loans. If you own a business, you may qualify for additional stimulus money. Hundreds of Santa Clarita businesses are receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars from the American Rescue Plan. For details on how you can qualify, visit hometownstation.com/stimulus. That's hometownstation.com/stimulus.
hometownstation.com/stimulus.
There's a very good reason Embrace Your Smile has been voted Santa Clarita's #1 orthodontist for 10 years in a row.
Honestly, it's our team.
Dr. Megan LeCornu.
I think for me, what makes it stand out is when I have patients that come up to me and say, we have never been in a doctor's office that feels like this. Our team is a family, and we really get along, and we are really passionate about what we do, helping our patients get the smiles they want and deserve.
Dr. Megan LeCornu of Embrace Your Smile Orthodontics.
Embrace your smile.
EmbraceYourSmile.com.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCV Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And our guest now is Adam Laraway from Focus Physical Therapy. Good to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you, Barbara.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How
Welcome
about yourself?
back, Adam.
I'm doing fine.
Nice to see you, Dr. Barrio.
Thank you.
Are you there, Jean?
Well, I sure am. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Barely. He's going to turn it up.
Yeah, what's up? I
There,
wonder
that's
what's up
better.
with the volume.
Now we
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Now,
Okay,
can you hear me
good.
now?
Well,
Can
Adam,
you hear me
yes.
now? That sounds
welcome,
familiar,
Adam.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, how are you doing, Adam?
I'm doing really good. Doing
Good.
really good.
It's
Yeah,
good
we're
to
helping
hear
lots
you.
of people, and that's why I'm doing this job. So
That's
I'm trying to help as many
terrific.
people as possible.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what is new in your world?
Well, we're trying to figure out. We got a thing, memo about healthcare workers having to do mandatory either vaccines or weekly COVID tests. But I haven't seen a thing other than one announcement, so I don't know if that's true or not. But we're trying to figure that out. But it's we're in an interesting time with this Delta variant, that's for sure.
We certainly are.
It's amazing.
No.
Absolutely amazing, What else is going to happen?
Yeah.
You
Hard to
know?
say.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to take it one day at a time and try and be safe and try and make sure you're getting enough sleep and enough good diet to keep your body healthy. So
That's right. And a good glass of red wine.
I know, I just missed that. I guess I should have been here 15 minutes earlier.
Yes, you should have.
But Adam, one of the things that problems that our seniors do face is that they have balance problems and they fall.
Yes.
And you hope that they don't break anything, but and they don't. With my patients, I get physical therapy involved.
Yes.
And trying to get our patients to strengthen their balance and abilities to get around so they're not in jeopardy anymore. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that physical therapy and you do to help and make sure that our seniors don't fall.
Yeah, that's a great topic, Dr. Dario. Balance for us, we focus kind of on three systems. So depending on, when we do our evaluation and we figure out what's wrong, with their balance, it could be, proprioceptive input. It could be, as we get older, obviously we get, joints that are more arthritic, so you start to lose some of that proprioceptive input. Obviously our vision gets worse, so that's the other second system that we
Yep.
use. So, especially for, if you're getting up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it's dark, which affects your vision. And then, obviously vision issues as we get older. And then your vestibular system, your hearing. And so obviously, as we get older, what happens? Our hearing starts to get worse. So all three systems tend to get kind of compromised. But the cool thing with physical therapy is that we can challenge those. So, for vestibular stuff, sometimes we're walking and we're doing head turns and stuff like that to try and stimulate one side versus the other. And we have, different, I call them toys that we play with balance boards and foam pads and stuff like that we can kind of bias and make things challenge. But sometimes doing something as simple as, just a single leg stance at a kitchen counter safely is enough to challenge that system and make it better. So there's a lot of different, things that we do, and we really kind of trying to isolate, to find out what deficits are the primary deficit, I guess.
Well, that's one of the things I do at home.
Mm-hmm.
I stand at the kitchen counter.
Yep.
And I lift my leg up as far as I can go.
Yep.
But of course, it just doesn't get as straight as it used to.
So you're working two things there. So you're working some strength on the leg that you're lifting, but then you're also balancing on the other leg.
On the other
so
leg,
you're
but
getting kind of a 2-for-1 there.
But I have to hold on to the counter.
Yep. Yep.
because
Yep.
I've noticed at my age now,
Yeah.
my balance is getting off.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I'll get out of the bed in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and I have this chest to hold on to, and then I'll get out
Yeah.
and put my hand on the other chest,
Yeah.
so that
Mm-hmm.
I'm steadied.
Yep. So you've got kind of 3 points of reference between your feet and your hands, and that makes
Right.
a huge difference. And it's amazing how, as we work with people and progress, they may start with trying to do a single leg stance where they're with both hands on the table, and then we can progress to 1, 2, or 3 fingers, and then maybe drop a hand. And so you can do that progression, and you see the improvements because your brain integrates those 2 points of reference. And so if you start taking those away, and that's why sometimes they call it wall walking, where people, if they're out of balance, they're rubbing on the walls and stuff like that. And so we want to get them so they're not having to do that.
Well, it's interesting. I think I told you this before. I'll get something in my mind and I'll think, oh, I got to go do this. And I'll go tearing down the hall. And I'm thinking, whoa, slow down.
Slow
Barbara.
down.
Right, exactly.
Slow down.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, you didn't used to have to do that.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Well, and there's other factors can be too, like, so, say like you jump out of bed real quick and, your blood
Get
pressure can drop a
lightheaded.
little bit, and so
Oh.
that can also affect it. So sometimes it's really good when you get out of bed that you sit there for a moment, kind of let your blood pressure equilibrize and get, everything kind of neutralized before you actually stand up. And that makes a big difference.
My kitty cat doesn't like me to do that because I'll lie sideways across the bed and dangle my legs over the edge
Uh-huh.
and move them a little bit.
Yeah.
And she gets very upset. She goes, row, because I've disturbed her.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
She
exactly.
sleeps down at the bottom of the bed, in the crook of my leg. That's where she sleeps.
Yeah. God forbid we disturb them while they're sleeping.
Oh, my goodness. She really gets upset.
Yeah.
Then she'll come up and walk around my head while I'm lying back, swinging my legs over the edge, you know. Like, what did you do that for,
Pets are great, but even that is a concern because, like, I actually had this happen to me last night. I was walking in, and we have 2 pugs, and, so smaller dogs.
Yes.
And I was walking in. I had my hands full of stuff, and our youngest one ran right into my leg as I was walking in. And, I was able to obviously catch and react myself. But, somebody who doesn't have as quick a reaction, potentially could have fallen. So, having pets is great. That's good for your blood pressure most of the time. But, it's important, too, that, they're not getting underfoot and causing you to more likely to fall as well.
Well, that's true. And I have to be more careful now because I had wood flooring put in.
Yeah.
And wood flooring can be very slippery.
Absolutely.
It really can.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because Ginger will get in the hallway and she'll yowl because she can hear herself echo.
Yeah.
She gets in that hallway and row, row.
Singing the tune.
Yes, and she's calling me. She says, "Come on, Mom, I need some loving." So I'll walk down the hall and she'll walk ahead of me and turn around to see if I'm following her. She'll jump up on the chair and then up onto the bed and row, 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 row. So I'll pet her for a little while and she's happy as can be.
There you
And
go.
she'll go to sleep. And then I can go back to what I'm doing. But she's a very insistent kitty cat. She's over 18 years old, too.
Well, that's wow.
So I don't anticipate I'm going to have her around very much longer.
Yeah.
Although she seems to be in good health, but
Yeah.
boy, she lets me know
But-
when she needs attention.
Yeah.
In no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
But I have to slow
know, but-
myself down to do it too. You
Yeah.
know, I don't go
But,
tearing
Barb,
down
when
the hall
I
anymore.
first met
What?
when I first met you, Barb, a few decades ago, you were doing water exercises, and of course, not just with the pandemic, but they've closed down a lot of the water exercises. But
Yes.
aren't there, Adam, just a lot of things that we can do to do muscle strengthening, even at home,
Yes.
to be able to assure that it brings back our balance and gets us back up to par? So, yeah, we can get up and do things still pretty quick, but maybe not as quick as our cat, but pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's part of the physical therapy program is that we do what's called a home exercise program. So we do a lot of education with the patient, of teaching them what they can do and how they can make things better. But some of the simpler things that are really crucial is just doing an exercise, going from sitting in a chair to standing up. That works your glutes, your quads, your core. And that also takes balance, and so, that's a very simple exercise. And if it's too hard to do in a normal chair, what we'll usually do is, put a pillow or an extra cushion or something in that chair to elevate it up and make it so you could be a little more successful. And then as you do get stronger, you can start lowering those assistive parts to make it more challenging. But, that's one of the, if you can't get out of a chair, and I know a lot of my seniors that I work with, going to a restaurant, trying to get out of a booth or something like that could be a real challenge. And so we also do teach, mechanics of how to do that, getting scooted to the edge of the chair, and if they have one leg that's stronger than the other, we might have a staggered stance, and getting your weight shifted forward so that you get over what's called your basis support, so that you have the leverage to push up. But if those glutes and those quads are weak, it can get real difficult.
It's interesting. I've seriously considered getting one of those chairs that lift up. And you can get out easier, because even sitting in the chairs that I have, they recline. But I have to put my hands on either side. And literally push myself to get up.
So you need to do that sit to stand exercise, because you're cheating. You're using your arms.
I know.
Sounds like your glutes and your quads need a little more work, Barbara. Not to put you on the spot.
I'm getting older. I mean, give me a break.
Well, and it's, we get to questions about, with getting those chairs that help you up, but it's one of those things that if you start not doing it, then your body loses that memory. And so that old saying of use it or lose it is really important. So although it may make it easier in the interim, it's actually going to make it harder down the road, because you're going to lose more and more of that function. So it's really important to make sure you can do those simple things. And, we live in a community that's got curbs and steps and stuff like that. And so step-ups are a great exercise. Again, we usually teach patients to do that next to a kitchen counter, something that they can hold on to for balance. But, step-ups are a really good one. Another one that works those quadriceps and those glutes, those big muscle groups that are really important for, just your everyday activities.
Well, it's interesting, because I had my son put in bars on either side of my steps to get into the front door.
Yep, just that little bit of proprioceptive input makes a huge difference.
Oh my goodness, because I did trip and fall and tore my cheek open, had to go into the hospital. And I thought, okay, something needs to be done. Of course, I had my hands full of stuff. Which I shouldn't have done. But now I'm able to hold on to those bars. It's a big bar like this. And the other thing I do, rather than walk down the driveway and just scoot out into the street to get to the mailbox, I go down to the sidewalk and step down. I do that, and then I step back up.
Yep. So there's a perfect example of doing that step up, step down exercise. That's really important.
It really is. And I do that on my front step. As long as I have those poles to hold on to, that's all I need.
Yeah, we do other stuff too. We, with like what we call tandem walking, where you kind of go like a heel to toe, or we might just decrease the base of support. If you're, one thing that's applicable, we'll do some sidestepping stuff, because like if you're in the kitchen, you may be stepping aside along the counter. So those are, real simple exercises that you can do, but they're very applicable to kind of your daily activities that you do every day. If you're scooting along the counter to, get something out of the refrigerator and then put it in the microwave, and then the dishwasher, so those activities are really important.
That's an interesting thing to do, to sidestep. Instead of turning and walking, sidestep over there. I'm going to start doing that. I never thought about that.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's actually, to kind of piggyback with what Dr. Dario was saying earlier, that's one of the exercises that I had patients do in the pool when I used to do pool therapy, is we would do sidestepping and backwards walking and forward walking, because you've got the buoyancy of the water, so obviously you're not going to fall. But you really get those muscles working from the resistance of the water, the balance. So it's really a good exercise if you do have access to a pool and you want to do some pool exercise, doing some walking in those different directions.
I think they've started water aerobics at the, I don't know whether is it 24-Hour Fitness on Golden Valley Road? I don't remember.
Oh, that's LA Fitness, I think.
LA Fitness, yeah. I have a membership there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think they're starting there, or have started their swimming pool opening.
Wonderful.
So I need to get back in there and do some of those water aerobics that I remember doing at College of the Canyons. Because I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it's great exercise.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll start going again since I still have a membership.
Yes.
Because I think they canceled it. They
Put it on hold.
Put it on hold when
Yeah.
they had to close down. So, good idea. Good
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely.
Do we need to take a break? I thought so. Okay. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
This is Bradley from Santa Clarita Grocery, the all-volunteer grocery program serving children, families, and individuals experiencing food insecurities. Since January 2020, Santa Clarita Grocery has distributed 83 tons of fresh groceries to 4,465 families in the SCV. Santa Clarita Grocery is a drive-up, drive-through service with physical distancing in place to continue serving our community. If you are in need or looking for a charity to do the most good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery, one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. A full 99 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to the community. Santa Clarita Grocery operates on a 1% overhead and is sustained through private donations. Santa Clarita Grocery is at 21176 Center Point Parkway in the Oasis Furniture parking lot. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or our Facebook at Santa Clarita Grocery to make a difference in our awesome town community. 661-425-7575. Be our guest and experience the difference.
Great healthcare just got easier and more convenient in Canyon Country. Facey Canyon Country is now open directly off the Soledad Canyon exit off the 14 freeway. The 37,000 square foot clinic houses Facey Medical Group primary care physicians, pediatricians, and specialists. Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and peds. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to santaclaritahearingcenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's santaclaritahearingcenter.com.
The anticipation of having a baby brings much excitement and hundreds of decisions. When choosing where to have your baby, choose the best. Providence St. Joseph Medical Center. The new Women's Pavilion combines expertly trained medical staff with luxurious labor and delivery suites and the area's most advanced neonatal intensive care unit. You and your new baby will get the best start possible. For more information and a tour, call 1-888-HEALING. The road to healing leads to Providence.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Adam Laraway from Focus Physical Therapy. And Jean, you had a subject of some kind that you wanted to talk about?
Let's talk a little bit about it because we talk all the time about core and core strength. I think a lot of our seniors definitely know, but some don't. And listening to the show, they kind of go core, that's, maybe in oil drilling and things like that, or geology, it's understandable. But core strength, and, to me, it's the internal strength that we have, especially from our abs and psoas and back and things like that. But maybe Adam, you can better define it for us.
Absolutely. So there's kind of 4 layers of core muscles that we generally kind of educate patients. I actually get a little diagram out when I'm working with patients and kind of show them where they are. And so, you know, there's kind of your rectus abdominis, which is your six-pack muscle. And, you know, the fiber direction of those guys go up and down. They're great for crunches, and they help to stabilize our core and our lower back, but they're not the primary stabilizer. We have what's called internal and external obliques, which go kind of diagonally. So those guys are really involved when you're, you know, doing any type of twisting motion, lifting, you know, putting stuff into the dishwasher, that type of stuff. You'd be doing that twisting motion. And then there's one that goes all the way around from your stomach all the way to your back called the transverse abdominis. And it's basically like a back belt. And that muscle is anticipatory. So before you get up out of bed or open a door or lift something, that muscle has to engage to set your spine. It actually attaches to all 5 of your lumbar vertebrae. But it's really important because a lot of times they've done studies, and when somebody, say, falls, a lot of times that muscle will shut off, and they've done studies where their EMG activity 24 hours later, and there is no activity. And so sometimes it's a matter of kind of getting the brain to turn that muscle back on, and so that's one of the things we work on in the clinic. And
what do you mean that muscle turns off?
The brain, for whatever, when you have a trauma, the brain says, okay, I'm going to shut this guy off. I'm going to go into protect mode. And so sometimes it just doesn't turn back on. And I've had patients that have had back pain for like 30 years, and all of a sudden we start finding that muscle and teach them how to engage it and teach them to contract it before they stand up, before they lift a bag of groceries, or before opening a door, you know, turning in bed. And all of a sudden that back pain starts to go away because those vertebrae are now stable because that muscle is contracted.
Very good.
It's kind of funny. When I was in PT school, I worked at Home Depot as a front-end cashier supervisor. And they used to make us wear these back belts 24 hours a day because they didn't want anybody to have, you know, any back pain, because that was a big workers' comp issue. But it was interesting, when I was in school, there was some studies came out that showed that actually those braces made the problem worse, because when the brace is on, your muscles don't have to work because the brace is doing the work. And you think about it, like, you know, what do bodybuilders do? You know, they strap that on really tight, they do their squats, and then as soon as they're done, they've taken the belt off.
Take it off.
And so now you'll notice that all those belts are on suspenders. So they want you to strap it on when you're going to lift something heavy, but then as soon as you're done, they want it just dangling. Because, you know, the brain says, hey, if this brace is going to do the work, then I don't have to. So it's going to get weaker.
How interesting.
So we do a lot of core, and we do, you know, initially we'll start on the table with just trying to help the patient, you know, find the muscle, how to engage it, that type of stuff. And then we get up off the table and we start maybe using some bands, or, you know, we do sometimes we'll do like perturbations where we're pushing people around a little bit so they have to adjust, because those core muscles, especially say you trip and fall, you need to be able to catch yourself, and that core has to engage so your hips and your shoulders have a stable base to push from. Your core is crucial.
Yeah.
So
Adam, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
They can reach us at our phone number is 661-255-4205, or you can find us on our website, which is FocusPT-SCV, as in SantaClaritaValley.com. And I'm always happy to answer any questions. If people want to know if they're appropriate for PT, I'm happy to give them a little consult and answer their questions.
Yeah, thank you, Adam, because I think it's important that this home exercise program, if you want some knowledge in that, 255-4205 is, you know, will get you that information. It's a highly educational and will keep you going. I remember I used to have a six-pack when I was younger, and a few years ago I went down to one pack, and now that's gone. So I have, you know, so trying to keep my core, I don't think has worked, but, you know, for everybody to have some kind of home exercise program is important. Adam, thanks for being on the show. Again, we appreciate it.